Welcome back to Bayou Time. We have some stories for you from the Louisiana Agriculture Center. First up, record heat and exceptional drought played havoc on Louisiana agriculture in 2023. Every crop across the state felt the effects, and producers across the state suffered losses. LSU Ag Center correspondent Craig Gautreaux has this report concerning the 2023 crop year for Louisiana.
For farmers and ranchers, the summer and fall weather of 2023 will be memorable for all the wrong reasons. Temperatures ranged 3 degrees above average, and precipitation levels were nearly cut in half, leading to significant losses for agricultural producers.
The total impacts from the wildfires and the drought approached $1.7 billion, and plant commodities accounted for over half of that total, with soybeans and sugarcane being the most significantly impacted crops.
An LSU Ag Center report estimated soybean producers lost more than $322 million because of increased irrigation costs, quality issues, and yield reduction. The losses for sugarcane producers won't be fully determined until after the grinding season is complete in January.
The average yield per acre for Louisiana sugarcane to be about 28.5 tons per acre. Now that's up month over month, but that's still close to 4 tons below where we were in 2022.
Animal enterprises were also not spared by the weather.
The damages for livestock were almost $390 million. Growers indicated revenue reductions from forced liquidations, lack of weight gain, and in some cases, animal deaths.
Louisiana agriculture had a rough year last year because of the weather, which caused producers to receive disaster payments. This year, the losses are significantly higher, so farmers will be looking for more disaster aid.
I know our congressional delegation is actively pursuing additional funding due to the severity of the drought conditions that we've had, and unfortunately, we're not alone in the South with seeing those drought conditions persist.
Forestry, Louisiana's #1 agricultural commodity, suffered at least $325 million in losses, and this number is expected to rise. With the LSU Ag Center, this is Craig Gautreaux reporting.
In another story from Louisiana Ag Center, this year's weather has caused many challenges in Louisiana. Among other issues, it gave rise to mosquito species that is not normally seen in such abundant numbers. LSU Ag Center reporter Craig Gautreaux has the story.
The extreme heat and drought conditions experienced this year have caused many problems across Louisiana, but the weather was a boon to a mosquito species that flourishes under these harsh conditions.
It's not a new mosquito. It's one that became more of an issue this year because of some of the interesting climatic changes that we had this year, particularly drought and very high temperatures.
The scientific name is Culex nigropalpus, but the common name is Florida SLE mosquito, with the SLE standing for St. Louis encephalitis.
It's also a competent vector for West Nile virus, St. Louis encephalitis virus, Eastern equine encephalitis virus, all potential viruses that we have in the state of Louisiana.
Mosquitoes will typically lay their eggs shortly after taking a blood meal, but this species can wait until conditions are more favorable.
It can hold on to those eggs for several weeks, 3-4 weeks at a time, just kind of waiting for flooding conditions to occur.
The good news is the arrival of winter will reduce interactions with mosquitoes.
We're in that time of year now where we probably won't really see a resurgence of those mosquitoes again because of all of the extreme cold that we are having now. So that's a positive.
Healy said the hot, dry weather this year did reduce overall number of mosquitoes. With the LSU Ag Center, this is Craig Gautreaux reporting.
Now switching gears a little bit to winter lawn care. Most lawns are not looking as nice in the winter as they do at other times, but there are some things you can do right now to help the grass along. On this edition of Get It Growing, LSU Ag Center horticulturist Heather Kirk-Ballard explains some do's and don'ts for your winter lawn maintenance.
For us in Louisiana, we often look forward to the winter time so we can slack off on our work in the lawn. But this is a time that we can continue to do some work and some things that we kind of want to avoid. Now, one of the things that we want to avoid is fertilizing this time of year. We're going to wait until the springtime. Typically in South Louisiana, we're going to wait till after March 15th, and in North Louisiana, we're going to wait until after April 1st. But keep an eye on those temperatures. One thing you can also do is continue to mow your actively growing lawns. Some of them have not gone dormant yet, and with the rain that we've been getting, some of them may be growing slightly. A lot of times turf grasses go dormant in the winter, but if you see active growth, it is okay to mow it, and you want to set that mowing height at the highest height that you can get it out. Now, one thing that we can also do during the winter time is continue to water. Now, we're not going to water as frequently because, of course, the grass is not transpiring, it's not as hot, but if you water heavily at least once a week, that is a good practice. It's also a good time to do soil tests to check those nitrogen levels and especially potassium levels. And one other thing that we can do in the lawn this time of year is kill any of those annual winter weeds. And you can do that with herbicides that have active ingredients such as atrazine and metsulfuron. So to summarize, we want to reduce the amount of water because our grasses are not actively growing, but they still need water. We want to skip the fertilizer. We want to treat for any winter weeds. And if you continue to mow, you want to raise that mowing height to the highest setting. For Get It Growing, I'm Heather Kirk-Ballard with the LSU Ag Center.
To find more information on this and other Louisiana garden topics, contact your LSU Ag Center office or visit the LSU Ag Center website at www.lsuagcenter.com and click on the Lawn and Garden button. All right, and we'll be back with more right here on HTV. Stay tuned.